Hello, everybody. It's me, Raj, coming to you live from me flat in Glasgow. The McRaj clan is ready to fight the New World Order. We got our Scottish claymores, our broadswords, and we're ready to say, you can take our lives, but you'll never take our freedom. Actually, they did take our freedom a couple years ago, and they're gonna try and do it again. I'm actually in South Dakota, not in Glasgow. But, they are gonna lock us down again. Sounds like. They are already dropping hints on mainstream media. I know Mo Lester Holt, or whatever his name is, was kind of saying that there's lots of scary COVID and you need to start thinking about masking up and social distancing. And there was this leak from Alex Jones, of course. Say what you may about him. He has had reliable intel in the past. I think he's controlled opposition. But, I agree with more of what he says than I disagree with. But he called a few things in the past, and this seems like something he called weeks or months ago, and people didn't believe him, and now it's starting to come true. People are saying numerous large universities are going full COVID protocol. You must have, the things in your arm and the extra things in your arm, and you got to do the masks, and you got to do social distancing, and maybe they'll do classes online, and you got to, all the crazy stuff that happened back in 2020, they're trying to bring back. So, as time goes by, I think we will see that this is proving to be true. Travel is going to be full on, they're going to check for your jibby jab status. They're going to they're going to make you wear masks. They're going to, do all the crazy nonsense that they did before. Not again. So, there's quite a call to, what people might refer to as civil disobedience. And I think that would be a really prudent thing. I say that in a place where there's not going to be a ton of pressure to wear a mask or to social distance. If I lived in New York or LA again, I don't think I would be so, sure that I was going to fight the power. But, I don't know. I don't know what things are like there now. I'm sure there's going to be people putting up a fight everywhere. So we'll see how that turns out. Sorry about the clutter in the background. I gotta shift some things around in this office. There's like a cool poster on this wall. I should just flip my desk around. It would make a better background than all this clutter back there. 6 new countries have signed up for BRICS. That's a big deal. Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and UAE. So economically, these are not just like tiny countries. These are, middle of the road world powers and developed countries, at least partially developed countries. They combined with Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. It's not looking good for the dollar. And how long they can play this out, whether they can make things look normal by getting us into World War III, I don't know. I'm thinking some crazy stuff's going to be happening in this country in the next few years. I really don't think there's any way to avoid it. I am reading that the sequel to The Fourth Turning. The Fourth Turning is now by Neil Howe. And it's getting to the good part now where he's talking about what's happening now. He thinks it could last until 2030 or so. And I haven't gotten to the parts where he kind of prognosticates exactly what he expects to happen. But it's a very interesting analysis of what's going on. And I truly don't think we're getting out of this without some stuff going down that makes 2020 look like a walk in the park. I truly believe we will see World War III and or Civil War 2.0. One or the other, maybe both. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. This is a pretty standard pattern of history. Each generation is about 20, 21 years. Every 80 to 84 years, something big happens. Something really big. And it is an all or nothing, no holds barred, take no prisoners kind of war or battle on par with the American Revolution, the American Civil War, World War II. On par with those things, which were all big deals. So I really think this BRICS thing is going to play into the economic aspect of it. Whether we see another Great Depression type situation, I wouldn't be surprised. So, COVID lockdown's coming. 6 countries enter BRICS. And some F-16s just flew over my house in South Dakota. I haven't ever seen fighter jets here before. I've seen some other, like, the big, what are they called? The helicopters, military helicopters that have the Chinooks, I think. Yeah, we've seen a few of those. We're not too far from, like, the National Guard headquarters down in Sioux City. I know South Dakota State National Guard, I believe, has some of their own F-16s. And then, I think we're a little too far away from Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota for them to be flying around this way. I think that's a few hundred miles from here, if not farther. So it was crazy. I was actually in the basement when it happened, and I heard them, like just like I was outside. And my wife was standing in the front yard, and she looked up, and she said it passed directly over her head, and then a second one came a few seconds later. So that was interesting. Something we don't see every day for sure. Like I said, we've seen other military craft transports and things like that. Those big flying fortress things have gone over a few times, and we've lived here for 3.5 years now and never seen a fighter jet flying around in the skies. This is all farmland, and then this few small towns here and there. So with that, I say have a good weekend. Man, I look tired, don't I? I am kind of tired. I didn't sleep very well last night, but hopefully tonight I can get a little shut-eye. One last thing before I go. There was an interesting story about a lot of people defaulting on car payments, okay? Which is no surprise. Cars are obscenely expensive nowadays, even. There's this article in the Wall Street Journal. Most of it is behind the paywall, so I looked on Reddit, and they're just talking about, car prices are $40,000, $60,000 for a decent car. It's even $20,000 for a decent used car. So there were houses you could buy for those prices back not that long ago. And the interesting thing about it is that they are tying up they're like car loan backed securities, just like they had mortgage backed securities for those subprime mortgages around the 2008 crash. They have been selling securities backed by subprime auto loans, and people are defaulting in record numbers. So just another thing suggesting that we are going to be in a world of hurt in the next few years economically. Something just absolutely unprecedented is likely to happen if you really are paying attention to what's going on. Inflation is still continuing, especially with food and energy, the things that you need to survive. And they don't take those into account in the official inflation statistics. They only measure everything else, right? So Yeah, they're saying inflation isn't happening anymore. But if you've gone grocery shopping lately, I'm sure you can tell it's still pricier than it was just a short time ago, and energy prices continue to go up as well. So anyway, you can listen to the crazy tinfoil hatters who keep crying wolf or crying the sky is falling, or you can listen to the people on mainstream media who tell you exactly what you want to hear. The economy's great, inflation's slowing down, we're going to defeat Russia real soon, or Ukraine is going to defeat Russia, or somebody is, right? Oh my. Interesting times. Have a great weekend, everybody. McRaj signing off.